Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world. Carolyn's Chitchat here, and today I'm chatting to Adele Bernard, who's from Calgary in Canada. So, good evening, Adele. How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful, and thank you for having me on your chit chat. I'm so
That's
excited.
that's great. So I always ask people one question, uh,
Okay.
all the same question. So, what is it you enjoy doing outside of work?
I should have known you were going to do a zinger outside of work.
Yeah,
So I love exploring new neighborhoods, new places to walk, and and then I find new trees to make friends with
oh, I
because
like that.
our trees talk to us. It was
Oh,
our
they
first
do.
internet. So,
Yeah, they do. And I think some local research over here is being done about the how the waves work within trees. I think some devices, some scientific devices have been fitted to some trees, and of
mhm,
course their roots talk to each other underground, don't they?
mhm.
But yeah, they it's a big thing. Trees talking to one another. Yeah.
Oh, and you think about too, like the scientists, as you brought up, they they can tell how old a tree is by the rings,
Yes,
right? And then they also can take a sample of the core
that's
and
right. They
tell if
they put
it's
a light the
healthy.
thing in, don't they, and pull that out. Yeah.
Yeah, to see if it's healthy or if it has to come down.
Mm,
And then here's another. So I met a tour guide that lives in this area, and we always think that the trees standing are the most healthy, right? Because if a tree is 10 feet high, it's 10 feet deep. Whatever
yep.
inches above the ground is below the ground.
Hmm.
And then she taught me that a tree actually has more life laying down. And I go, pardon? She says, because all the moss comes, all the critters come, they
Yeah.
can, the animals can eat off the bark easier.
Mm,
And I was like, wow. So if a tree's in the sky, like growing for 50 years, it probably has 100 years on the ground.
wow.
Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, who knew?
Yeah.
Right?
Gosh. I mean, that really is that's fascinating, isn't it? I mean, it's
Yeah.
like how numbers the number of species that are supported by, for instance, an oak tree
Hmm.
is phenomenal. And an oak tree doesn't produce acorns until it's 50.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Mm,
Well, and it's interesting too because, like, say you're walking in the forest or in the gardens or whatever, and a tree communicates with the ground from the top. And I'm like, what? And it's like, I can't think of the book right now, but he's written books on trees and vegetation and the animals.
mhm.
And he really goes into how nature naturally will declutter itself in the forest,
Yes. We
right?
should really leave nature to do its own job,
Yes.
rather than poking our noses in, as it were,
Yeah.
disrupting and disrupting the ecosystem that lies in front of us,
Yeah.
because it's there, all there for a reason.
Hmm. Well, and I remember years and years ago going camping, and the only time we knew what time it was we'd hear the beavers, and we go, oh, must be around 8 o'clock, and because the beavers would be coming and working on their den at 8 o'clock. Why 8 o'clock? I don't know, but that's when they worked on their den, and and it's fascinating because they'd take the bigger logs, but they actually took all the underbrush of under the tree, right? So they're
Mm,
helping the tree grow by taking the underbrush. So then that left for the other critters more room so they could scamper around. And yeah, no, it's fascinating because I even look around at the neighborhood trees and it's like everyone keeps trimming the bottom. I'm like, well, that's not going to do anything. You're going to get the top so heavy that it's going to crash, like a good wind will crash on your house.
I mean, it's all right doing that to a small shrub, but not a huge tree.
Yeah. But most people want their flowers. So
Mm.
they cut the bottom,
Yeah.
right? And so now you've made your tree that talks from the top too top heavy.
Yes. People don't have an understanding, do they? Or they don't want to have an understanding of it.
Yeah. They
But
just want their
yes.
flowers under it.
Mm. That's all they're worried about, the
Yeah.
aesthetics of it all,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
the actual workings of it all. So,
Yeah.
apart from trees, is there anything else? Hiking amongst trees. Anything else that you enjoy?
I like being down by the water. Just
Mm.
it's just, you know, and it's really funny because I probably spend more time at the water in the winter than I do in the summer because it's too busy in the summer.
Yeah.
I like the calmness. I love, you know, just hearing the ripple of the water and you know,
Mm.
not that I don't like kids screaming and dogs barking and but it's just like, in the
It
winter
takes
it's
away
just more
it takes
peaceful.
away the element, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does.
Yeah.
And
No, I agree
and
with you. I love being by water. Um,
mhm,
one of my favorite things is to walk along the side of a canal.
mhm,
Um, and just mostly there are trees either side, so or
mhm,
woodland either side or one side. Um, I mean, we have one local canal here. We're sort of quite a distance away from any canals here, sadly. But a river or a narrow river would do fine. Yeah, I think it's great that you can sort of walk along water, and I think it's lovely too in the autumn when you've got all the autumn colours to walk along a waterside as well.
yeah. Well, and in Calgary we have our biggest water reserve running right through. So it's depending on the time of year, it can be quite high or low,
Mm.
and it's just every time you go, it's different, right?
Is that a reservoir,
It will eventually go into the reservoir,
right?
but I'm at the side of Calgary that it comes in from the mountains from the glacier before
Right.
it goes into the reservoir.
Hmm. Yeah, I
So
think I think there's nothing like it, is it? Trees and water.
yeah, well, essential for life,
Yeah.
right? Like, and and that's the thing. It was really funny because I have family members that just came back from England, and they're like dreading coming back to brown Calgary. And I said, no, it's been raining. And they got off the plane and they're like, oh my God, it looks like England. I'm like, I told you it's been raining. We've
Mm.
had,
Yeah.
like just about 2 weeks of solid rain. And now we're going 2 weeks to your favorite not weather because it's like 25 plus every day, which I
Oh,
love.
lovely.
Yeah,
Just my favorite not.
I know. I know. But to me, it's like finally it's warming up. I can open up windows. I can,
Yeah.
you know, um,
We can't
and
all like the same weather, can
no.
we?
But I mean, for me, it's like if I have to put up with the minus 25s, give me some plus 25s.
Well, yes, it's got a balance, hasn't it?
Hmm.
There's got to be
We
a
we
balance
just
for everybody.
we just don't like it all in one day, which can happen here.
Yes, that happens a lot in Scotland.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
that. Woo! I go, wow, 12 hours, awesome. I think you just broke a
yeah.
record.
Have a bit of that, a bit of this.
Yeah, I think the biggest time change or weather change I went through was coming from Mexico is like 37 degrees or Celsius, and I came home and it was minus 38. And I was like,
Oh, that's
awesome.
quite a contrast.
Hmm.
Yes,
Yeah.
not
And
prepared
so
for
it's
that
like,
one.
well, I know. And I was like, am I going to work tomorrow? I don't know. We'll see. Plug in my car. you know.
Yeah. Will it start? Won't it start? Yeah.
Yeah.
But yes, it must be quite a challenge, the different weathers and especially the coldness
Hmm.
of your weathers. So do you like hiking when it's snowy and in winter? You don't?
Well, I go walking
Yeah.
every day, regardless of the weather.
Hmm.
My least favorite is rain, hence
Yeah.
I'll never live in England. Um, Yet, yeah, like I mean, yeah, like I said, I go out every day because it's my mental break.
Yeah.
It gets me out, it gets me the fresh air. Um, but usually with hiking and like spending time in the mountains, you want it on the warmer side, or
Mm.
I do, because to go in the colder temperatures, you got to spend a lot of money on a lot of good
A lot
gear.
of kit. Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
That's
right? Like
fair.
you
Fair
just
enough.
can't go on your pants and
No.
you know.
And also hiking in colder weather when it can be dangerous. You don't want to be on your own when it's like that. It wouldn't be sensible, would it, to go hiking if it's icy? There could be you could fall, and so on and so forth. So it's a sort of safeguarding for yourself that you don't do it in those kind of conditions.
And most of the mountain hikes anymore have signs 4 or more
Mm,
because of that, right? That you have people that are going to be able to stay with you if someone falls. Couple can go down and find a rescue. Um, Also, groups of 4 to 6 are better for the animals. Like you're making more noise, so they'll stay
yeah.
away, especially at this time of year. They're all coming down. They're coming out of hibernation. You know,
Is that bear? What
um,
sort of that's bear, I'm presuming.
grizzlies, brown bears,
Right.
cougars, panthers.
Have you ever had a confrontation?
Yes, more than I'd like to know.
Mm.
But the like especially the brown bears, they're not here to harm you. And I don't know if you've seen the reels, but lots of brown bears are crawling into hot tubs.
Yes, I have.
Yeah, right? So they're not
Yes.
and then like you see the people that have maybe helped the bear as a cub, well now she'll come back with her babies
Yeah.
to say thank you.
Yeah.
And you're going, well it's a big scary bear. Well no, they're just wanting love too.
I mean, they're only scary when they're put on the spot and threatened. They feel threatened.
Hmm.
Yeah. It's the same with deer. I mean, when people rescue deer and then the deer have their family and they take the family to the person that's rescued
Hmm.
the adult. Yeah.
But the biggest thing, I don't care if it's a coyote, a bear, or whatever, do not disrupt their habitat.
Mm.
Do not feed them. Like so many people will be like, well, it's okay. I'll just take. No, you cannot take it part out of nature. I don't care if it's a little rock. I don't care if it's a tree branch. Do not take it out of nature.
No, because it
Right?
has an effect. However small, it will have an effect.
Hmm.
And, we don't, but the majority of people do not understand or comprehend how. They're just, oh, well, we got to have a shot because it's got to put it on Instagram.
Yeah. Well, and it was funny because what my favorite camping spot, um, it used to be kind of semi-joined with another spot, and I didn't like that, so I had a little tree seedling and I put it right in the middle of the path one time. I wanted my own camp spot. I didn't want to be neighbors that could go around if you want to come. That
I
reminds
don't
me. I should
know.
I should go back and check if it's still there, if they took it
Well,
down.
it might have been pulled up,
Yeah, I know.
especially if it was in the middle of the path. It's not
No,
much.
it was just a little path. It was just joining two
Oh,
campsites,
okay.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I should go back and see if it's still there.
Yeah, you should. It would be
But
funny
yeah,
if it
well,
left.
because it was just like I understand if you're two families camping together, you want the kids to be able to go safely without going on the road with the cars. But then I'm like, but I don't want to know them as neighbors when I'm camping in my area, right?
Yes, you know, all go away, shoo.
Well, I thank you for that. I have not thought about that tree forever.
There you go.
So now I'm curious to go see if it's
Well,
there.
you'll have to, and you have to let me know.
Yeah, that's funny. Go see if my little tree's there.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, um,
Well,
thank you
what's your
very much.
favorite thing to do?
My favorite thing. Oh, we're not talking about me.
Why? Because I know all your pictures. You have a great walking group. That's
Well,
awesome.
yeah. Well, maybe we could do that next time.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, this
because
is fun.
I normally keep these fairly short,
Yes.
so people, you know, like to, you know, they think, oh, is it going to end? When's it going to end?
Oh,
So I like to keep them short and you know, a little carrot.
chit chatty.
Chit chat, yes, exactly. But exactly that. You know, it is a chit chat. And
Yes.
you know, you can have more than one chit chats. So
Absolutely.
yeah. So
Absolutely.
I would like to thank you very much for joining me this evening, Adele. And perhaps in a few weeks we could have maybe a part two. What do you reckon?
I'll show up anytime you invite me back.
Well, I will invite you back. I'd love to have you back for
Awesome.
another chit chat. It's great getting to know you a little bit more and a little bit about trees and the
Yeah.
tree that you planted in a path. I'm longing to
Yes.
hear. So I hopefully you'll be able to find out what happened to that tree, whether it's there or not, when we next chat.
Maybe. Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, it's a ways away, so it's like
Oh, okay.
it's not like it's 10 minutes down the road. It's like an
Oh,
hour or
okay.
so,
All
right?
right.
Because we were out in the mountains camping, but it was just like also I'm like, huh? Because if so just before we hang out, if that tree is there, it's been growing for 20 years.
Wow.
Because my nephews were young when I planted it,
There you
and they
go.
are
So
now in
wouldn't
their
that be great?
30s.
You'll all have to go back and see whether it's there.
Yeah.
I hear a weekend hike coming on.
Yeah. No
Yeah.
doubt, eh?
Ah, well, thank you
This,
again, and
thank you.
we'll have another chat very soon. Thank you.
All right. Bye.